So this asana is called Balasana. Balasana is child pose. So when you do child pose, you're going to open up your knees as wide as a mat. You're going to bring your big toes together, sitting back on your heels. And then you're going to slowly walk your torso forward as you just stretch out and elongate the spine. This is a really restorative pose. It's great as a teacher to introduce if you're doing a few sequences and it gets really intense and you can sense that your class just needs to chill down a little bit. This is a great pose to introduce. If you see a student doing this, you know that they just need a little rest. So Balasana, you can see the contraindications would be if the student would have any problems with their lower extremities, their ankles, their feet, their knees, their hips, even the lower back. If they had any kind of compromise or injuries, they may be a little bit restricted in being able to do this asana. To make it a little bit easier, if you do see your students with their hips up, you can introduce things like a blanket underneath just to give a little bit of support. If you have students that still need a little bit more comfort, especially if they're pregnant, you can give their bellies a little bit of room by just making a little ramp with a bolster. So this is a very comforting pose and just a very gentle pose. You can also make it a little bit harder by working on your tricep muscles by coming into the asana and then bringing your hands into a prayer pose behind your head. And this is going to stretch out your tricep muscles. So it gives you a nice little stretch there. You can also bring your hands by your side and so have your forearms on the mat and just lengthening the body that way. So when we do this asana, if you're going to do an adjustment, you use your hands and you use like a butterfly, always like a butterfly. Never use your fingers, but just the palms of your hands. And if you were to draw a little line here at the very base of her spine, the coccyx, the tailbone, it meets the iliac crest. And the iliac crest, this junction or this joint is called the SI joint. And so this is going to be the adjustment that you would do is just only if she's all the way down, is just gently pushing right on the SI joint and just gently stretching her out. So that's child pose, Balasana. I hope you enjoy it. It's one of my favorites. Thank you for joining us.